All right. What's going on, people? It's TRB. How you doing? So it has happened, people, and you might be like, TRB, what are you talking about? What has happened? I'm in the doghouse. I'm in the doghouse, people. Bang, bang, bang. Shake, bro, what's the business? Yo, there's this thing that I think a lot of people that deals with. All right. And it's one of those things where you go from OTR, hey Duchess, and you go local. All right. And when you go local, you're home more. Well, depending on how long you've been OTR, there's a lot of things that you might have missed in your kids growing up. All right. I'm in the doghouse. I'm in the doghouse. The particulars of the situation is not important. What is important is one thing that you're going to hear if you've been OTR more than 2 years, where you're out, you come home, you're out for a month, you come home for a week, you're out for a month, you come home for a week. And the phrase is, you don't know because you ain't been here. You don't know because you ain't been here. This situation popped off with one of my kids, and I didn't handle the situation like I was supposed to because I didn't have all the proper information, or I have selective hearing. You know what I'm saying? So this particular situation is severe because of other circumstances and situations, but that's something that you're going to hear when you start to go local. Am I the only one that has heard that? You don't know because you ain't been here. You don't know how to handle that situation because you ain't been here. You don't know how to do this because you ain't been here. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something you're going to have to deal with, because you realize for X amount of times that you've been OTR, you haven't been completely 100% in that child's life. You might know what's going on with the child. You might have an understanding of what's going on with the child. You might, and this is not even, when I say child, I mean family, and the rigmarole or the routine that goes on with the family, because you're only there for a week. So when you're there for a week, you try to do what? Discipline your child, help around the house. You sleep like mad crazy because you're actually sleeping in the bed and the bed's not moving, but when you're home every day, there's other things that come into play, like cleaning the house, taking the trash out, so on and so forth. But there's other things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. And one of the phrases that you're going to hear, and when you hear it, it's like, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that you can do about it. You don't know because you ain't been here. You don't know because when you hear those words and the situation that happens was out of your control, because you haven't been there long enough to understand this is the actions you're supposed to take for this particular situation. And it could be detrimental to your family, financially, emotionally, mentally, just when you have a hiccup so bad that it could change the dynamics of the routine that your family is in, you start to look at Delilah. You start to I want to fuss. I want to fuss. I want to fight. I want to bicker. I want to go back and forth. This is how I feel about it. This is how you should feel about it. You hear what I said? This is how I feel about it. This is how you should feel about it. But in all reality, that particular individual who's working the 9 to 5 while you're out on the road 2-3 weeks at a time, a month at a time, back in the day, there was this mentality of, I'm out 5-6 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm out 5-6 months. But in that 5 or 6 months, there's little nuances that go on that's adding to the structure of your family that you are not a part of. The decisions are being made without you because you are not there to handle the situation, or you can communicate on how to handle the situation. I think you should do this. She says, I think I should do this. And we go back and forth. But actually handling, that's like us watching YouTube, right? I have a tankless water heater and it needs to be cleaned. And I watch YouTube to see how to clean it, right? I'm watching YouTube. I'm from a distance. I'm not the one that's actually there screwing the stuff in, doing trial and error so I can make sure to get it right. The smell of the chemicals, the bucket, the pump, how long should it take, what's the sound it should make if it's going correctly. When we're out on the road, we don't get those nuances. All we know is you just screw this on, turn this pump on, pour some vinegar or Flow Aid or whatever in there, and you should be good to go. Bang. We're not getting the we're seeing things from the family front from a distance. We're not actually being there, hearing the kids complain about whatever they complain about, or the wife, you hear her complaining, but you're not physically there to gauge the energy, the tones of the voices of whatever situation is going on. You know, it's one of those things like how, you know, we always look at First 48 and we be like, that motherfucker snitching. How that nigga gonna snitch like that? He just snitching, but we don't know what's actually going on behind the scenes. We don't have the big picture. We just know what we're being seen and what we're being told. So when you get home and you say, you know what, I'm done with OTR, it was good, I wish I can go back, but I have to take care of my family, and you start to be a part of the routine that your better half has already set up, and you're trying to find your place back into that routine, and there's certain things that you just don't know. You know, there's certain things that you just don't know because you're not there to actually experience. I could be on the phone and telling my daughter, you better do blah A, B, C, and D, but then I'm off the phone, I'm on cruise control 68, 72 in some city across the country, chilling, making money, music on, blah blah blah. I'm not there to witness the rhetoric, if that's the right word to use, or the back and forth, or the opinions of anybody else or what's going on. I'm not there to witness the actual actions that these commands or demands have on on my children. I'm not there to witness the behind the scenes. We see a beautiful picture, but we don't see the behind the scenes that it takes to make that picture. So you're gonna get that phrase. It's gonna happen, especially if you've been out here more than a year and you decide you want to go local and you have a family or you have kids. Now, if you're single, that's a whole nother, I bit my tongue, so if I'm listening, you know. But if you're single, this probably don't even relate to you, because I know if I was single, I can care less. You know, you need to be here to catch a load. I'm out. On to the next. Where I'm gonna lay my hats, my home. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in a committed relationship with the woman that you have kids with, there's a difference energy there. There's a different point of view. You have, and now you're dealing with the go clean your room, and when you're on the phone, go clean your room. You don't hear them stomping off. You don't hear the back talking and so on and so forth. So you just, in your mind, yeah, I told my child to go clean their room. Now the mother of that child or the person that's taking care of the children are going to have to deal with everything else to make sure that room get clean, make sure it get cleaned properly, so on and so forth. So when it comes to certain life situations, there's going to be things that you're going to do or hear or say, or there's actions that you're going to take, and those actions that you take are going to be based on your perception of what's going on, when really there's more going on, but you don't know it because you haven't been here. Situations where something comes up, you're going to need to address this situation like this, but you don't know because you haven't been there. You haven't been there. And what can you say? all you can do is throw your hands up. That's it. You know, you don't know because you haven't been here. You don't know because you haven't been here. As a truck driver, there's a lot of things that we take for granted. Our jobs are not hard. The only thing hard is being away from family. Our jobs are not hard. We make better money than probably about 60% of the people that's in the United States of America, depending on where you're at. We have the ability to do a variety of things, you know, that we just take advantage of, you know. Just think, anytime you walk into a Walmart, Target, a mall to go shopping, just realize you're making at least 30, 40, 50% more a week than they're making in 2 weeks. We take that stuff for granted, you know. Nothing we take for granted is the peace of mind, because if you're a truck driver, the peace of mind is ridiculous, because we don't have no worries. We don't have no qualms about what's going on at the house. Most of us don't. Some of us do. I just thought about the dude that hung himself, which is dumb. If you're thinking about killing yourself, that's dumb. How is that going to make the situation better? Because you don't want to deal with it and you're a truck driver, you get in the truck and you move your ass cross country and don't deal with it. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. But yeah, be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. That there's going to come a time. A time is going to come where you're going to handle a situation wrong because you haven't been there. All right. I'm sorry I missed your comments. I wanted to get that out there because a lot of people don't think about that. I didn't think about that. Now that I'm home, I've only been home like 2 weeks, but me handling this particular situation the way that I did got me in a doghouse, you know. And then here's another thing too, and I noticed that when me and my wife was fussing yesterday, that the women that's on here, understand something. When you're upset at us, we immediately think it's our fault. You know, there's supposed to be a time where you're supposed to let the woman argue and get whatever she's feeling out. But because you're frustrated at your man or your better half or your half or whatever you want to call it, we immediately try to look for the remedy. So you tell us something, we take it in, we process how to fix it. This is how to fix it. That's just how we're raised. We're raised to, if there's a problem, you deal with it. So a lot of times when you're telling us, our minds are processing on how to fix this situation. My problem is my reaction to situations are not normal to what I guess I'm supposed to do. But then, you know, you ask, well, how am I supposed to act or respond? And that just makes women matter. Women just give it, well, wait a minute, how am I supposed to react to this particular piece of information you just gave me? You acting like you don't care, and you acting like this. No, I'm not acting like I don't care. I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to get mad, angry, upset, frustrated? Am I supposed to be happy? I don't know. I probably did say it with a sarcastic tone, but to me it wasn't sarcastic. It was just like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? And that's for real. I'm really asking. Give me a direction. Once you give me a direction, then I can process that information in the lane that you gave me, and then I can adjust my reaction accordingly. But if you tell me something that I can't do or control, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. And You know, and I know myself, like certain situations, like when it comes to bickering back and forth on corporate speech, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have the patience for it. You know, if I'm arguing with somebody, I'm arguing with somebody. The boy Rich said, put things in place and check everybody. You can't check your wife, bruh. You can, is you can't check your wife. Not all the way. Not all the way. First of all, but I'm just speaking because I date black women. So yeah, as soon as you try to check a black woman, it's just downhill from there, because now they're gonna go from voicing their opinion to on the defense. And when they get on the defense, oh buddy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, check this, huh? Nah, because we fight back and hit below the belt. Yeah, definitely. So in situations like that, it's kind of like I sit and I listen. I try to listen to the best of my ability and try to remember the points that I want to make. You know, find a trucker girl and make y'all life OTR. I mean, that'll be the dream. You know, shout out to Mo, 804, and Divine Earth, and all them other couples out there that's running. But I don't know. I have no clue. And then if you don't say nothing, you're wrong. If you do say something, you're wrong. If you get upset, you're wrong. You know. And like, you know, I know I'm in the doghouse. I know I did wrong. I did wrong by just not caring about what the situation was. Like, oh, for real? Okay. You know. And I was told I should have I'm not even gonna go into the situation, but all I'm gonna say is when you've been OTR for a certain amount of time, there's a lot of stuff that you don't deal with when it comes to the relationship. There's a lot of stuff that you don't have to deal with because you're only home for a week. So that means when you come home, the house is probably gonna get clean. You're probably gonna get at least 3 meals out of the 7 days you're there, home cooked meals. That means everything's gonna be hunky dory. That means you probably gonna get some good Pandora box. You know what I'm saying? And then you're off. The kids are gonna act right and they're gonna act good. You know, they're not gonna eat in the room and do this and do that. But once you leave, they're gonna eat in their room and they're gonna be an ass. And the person that got to deal with that is mama or whomever you're dealing with or whoever watches your kids. And there's a lot of stuff that we don't deal with. And we take that for granted. If you're local, you know, and then too, if you're local, if you OTR and you have a problem on that few days that you're home, right? You can bicker back and forth, and then you just leave. You out. And most men, we ain't, at least for me, I'm not going to dwell on whatever situation happened. I'm not dwelling at all. But when you're local, you got to pull them punches. You got to pull them punches because you got to go home to her or that individual every night. There's no, well, fuck this and fuck you and fuck this house, fuck them kids. Hey, what's that song? Fuck them babies. Yeah. Hey, hang on real quick. That's boss lady. Hang on. Hello? Okay, let me get an audio check. Can I get an audio check? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. No, that wasn't the wife. All right, Duchess. Thank you, babe. You got to pull those punches. Ain't no cussing nobody out. Ain't no, because you got to go home. You gotta think before you speak on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's the best thing to do, to not care. But on the flip side, they have to honor your sacrifice. Yeah. But you gotta understand, it's honor each other's sacrifice, because she's at home taking care of my children. She's raising my kids. You know? I come home, I be the man for a week, and I'm out. So there's sacrifices on both ends. I'm pretty sure she would love to go to a spa. Damn, that shit got me with a lisp like a motherfucker. Sure, she want to go to a spa. I'm sure she want to go hang out with her girls and different things like that. But she got 3 daughters to raise, so it's a sacrifice on both ends. Sacrifice on both ends. She's not able to participate in different things that's going on with all the rest of the friends and family because we don't have a babysitter. We don't have a village. Me and my wife, it's just her and I. You know, but just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. If you've been OTR for a long time, when you come home, you're fitting into the routine that they have. You fit into the routine that she's made for her and the children, and now you're coming in wrecking shop. You're coming in wrecking shop. There's some things that you don't know. There's some tendencies or traits that you might not be aware of. There's obligations that you might not be aware of because you don't never have to worry about the obligations because they're on week 2. You're out at week 1. They happen on week 2. You know what I'm saying? So it just takes a lot of patience and understanding. Understand that if you've been OTR for X amount of years and you come home, that you are you're not the main subject. You are the what's the college word for not prerequisite. You know what I'm saying? You're only the main subject or the main for that week. But when you come home and it's both of y'all, and you're gonna have to live with this woman or this man, for the rest of your life, you got to learn that. You got to relearn them. Actually, you gotta get back into y'all routine. Because I tell you right now, I was like, I'm gonna come home, I'm cutting the yard, I'm gonna fix the sink, I'm gonna clean the house, I'm gonna help with whatever I help with. But me doing this local job, at least the last 2 weeks, like even though I'm local, I was still working about 10, 11 hours a day. I come home and I go to bed. She be like, you gonna give me some? Yeah, I'm gonna get I'm fat, so I snow. The next day, baby, when I come home, we're gonna have me and the kids, we're gonna sweep the floor, I'm gonna cook you dinner. And I come home, like, all right, what we gonna eat? Oh man, just order something. Just I'm out. Now that the route has settled down a little bit, I might have more time to do more things, but you just gotta be mindful of that. You gotta be mindful of that. Yeah. Supporting actor. You are the supporting actor into their routine. You eventually will become the main character. Y'all will become the main character, but that week that you're there, when you're OTR, they're going out of their way for you for that 1 week. And some of y'all not even home for a week. Some of y'all home for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? You come home for a restart, and then you out for another 2 months. And which is fine in the beginning, but eventually you got to have a game plan to get home. Sometimes you look at some of these people that have been OTR for 30 years. Yeah, I've been OTR 30 years. You're like, sheesh. And I kind of look at them like, what do you have to show for it? Like, you're a homeowner, you got land, 30 years, so you raised your kid 1 week out of the month. So that's 12 weeks out of the year, This is OTR driving a company truck. I'm like, geez. But then again, if they have a village, that's different. I don't have that village. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. Most of these CDL schools only training on automatic transmissions. Yeah. You can pay somebody to train you on a stick, but you're most likely gonna be driving an automatic, so you will have that restriction on your license. But I just want to put that out there. You're not around, so you don't know. How do you deal with that? You can't do nothing but throw your hands up because you're not around. You are not around. For you to try to raise a child, you need more time in their life. And another thing you don't ever do I'll tell you something. Another thing that you don't ever do is when you do eventually go local after being over the road for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you don't come in and criticize how your better half or that person that was raising your child raised your child. You do not criticize. Even if there's things that you might not like I don't like the way my child is doing this, then you need to come in and train them the way that you want them to do things. Do not go in and be like, the reason why they don't do this because you didn't train them. No, you wasn't there. You have no say in the job that somebody else did raising your children because you was out doing whatever you was doing. Now, again, if you have a village, and this is very important, if you got uncles, aunties, cousins, nieces, nephews, friends, people that you trust, that and they all come together to raise you all's children, that's different. But if you're the type of person that only has you and your wife and your children, maybe a grandma, um, maybe this, maybe that, you can't criticize, because if you start to criticize, then uh, it'll be selfish for you to criticize because you chose to go out and choose this career of an OTR driver. You chose that. They agreed to it because they was looking for the financial stability, but at the same time, all these years go by and your children are growing up being raised with one mentality of how to do whatever it is that they're doing and how to act however it is they're acting, and you again only come in for a week and then you're out. So anything that you try to instill into them only lasts for X amount of time and then it's gone, because you're not there to reinforce the morals, the goals, the ambition, the drive. You're not there to, sit them at a table and be like, this is a salad fork, this is a dinner fork, but then you leave for 3 months because you riding heavy, what I'm saying? You riding heavy, then you come back and they over there eating with their fingers. You're not there to instill and reinforce the teachings that you're instilling in them. So don't criticize. Don't criticize. If you go local and there's something you don't like, oh, I don't like the way he or she did whatever, train them now that you're local. Train them now that you're local. Just letting you know. Because me playfully talking shit with my wife, and I comment on something. This is the reason why they do that, because you did. And I crossed the line. And I knew I crossed the line when I said it. So the room fell silent, and she was just like, that's just wrong. You haven't been here so who are you to tell me how to raise my kids when you haven't been here? I'm there, but I'm not there. Okay. So, and all I could do was apologize. Like, baby, I apologize. I went too far. I love the way that they do whatever it is that I was fussing about, but it's the truth. So it is what it is, man. I thought I'd throw that out there, because starting out in trucking, it's you have a frame of mind, and the more you do trucking, the more you start to look at things different. Like I think I said it a long time ago, but I saw Party Hard. If you ain't following Party Hard on Instagram, my phone was broke for about 3 days. I didn't realize how I missed the dude. He just be throwing random shit up on Instagram, just talking shit. So check Party Hard out. But I used to take pride and be like, bam, I knocked out 700 some miles. I knocked out 690 miles. And now it's like, I'm not riding like that no more. If I ain't got to. If I'm busting out 650, 700 miles, it has to be a purpose. Like, the check has to be just that good. But when I was a company driver, driving for Swift, picture, 700 club. Look at me. Look at me. pushing this thing. But now it's like, I'm not doing that. Depending on the check. You know what I'm saying? If they paying me $2,000 to run 700, then I'll bust that out in a day. But the amount of money that I make is going to be a lot more. There's a reason for that. You know, but back in the day, I used to take pride in that. Now it's kind of like, damn, 700. So that's about 350 in fuel. You know what I'm saying? What city am I riding through? Man, I don't know. It just ain't the same. The feeling ain't the same. I still bust it if I have to. Like I said, if the bag's just that good, or if I need to get to a particular location. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, I missed all y'all comments. I'm probably gonna go. Hey, y'all go check out Pound Gang. He over there getting his beat make on. Subscribe to Pound Gang. And your boy Rich. Is that the Rich with the Volvo? With the $5,000 Volvo? Is that you, Rich? You know. But you start to look at things different after a while. Will I go back OTR? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, but I'm not planning on it. If I can just get this year round, what I'm on now, year round, I'm straight. I'm so straight. So straight. Other than that, let me see what's going on with y'all. What's going on out there in YouTube land? I know I done missed a lot on the trucking scene. You know, I don't even really watch. You know what? I talked to particular individuals that made a comment in this feed that be having me inspired to go look at money differently. So I think that particular individual needs to go ahead and grab a smartphone like what I'm on right here, all right, and put out that information, because he got me over here investing in stocks. I'm about to go invest in Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? I had to shoot him $20,000. You know, start buying houses. Him know who him talking to. Should I left OTR to be home, being more active in the kids' life? Now they are graduating and can't think about going back OTR. I mean, if they graduated and everything and they moved out, that's a whole different situation. You know, I can tell you that because you're not afraid to take certain risks, even if those risks will get you clowned. Oh yeah, I ain't worried about nobody clowning me. Care less. Well, you know, normally I don't even get the beef anyway. You know, I gotta say something really left field to the right, up that way and down there, for people to actually be like, let me make a video about TRB and talk that shit. You know, I do have some people that talk that shit, but they're irrelevant. I mean, irrelevant. I even had to go to their page and be like, don't talk about me. Talk about Trucker Brown and Lil Shine. That'll get your views. Talking about me, just get a laugh. You will not get street cred on TRE. It doesn't. My brain is too well built for you to say something that bad where people look at me different. I am an open book. Let's see. I'm missing my son growing up. FaceTime cool, but my son crying every time I leave out is something I would never get used to. Yeah, hey, Chase, local gang, bang, bang. That's who y'all need to follow. Chase and Andrews. A TV show called me probably about 4 months ago. He don't know this. I didn't tell him. But they asked me if they was to do a TV show, who would I recommend? And I said, Chase and Andrew Jackson. And they went and checked his videos out, and they looked at something. I think they was going a different direction, and by different direction, I just mean they wanted different breed of individual, different less melanin, you know. I was like, well, you know, all the people I know on that end, they all about that drama, so it is what it is. You know. But yeah, Chasing Andrews hauling chemical. I can't haul chemicals because I'm a criminal per California. Only in California. I am a unconvicted felon. Your case is dismissed. Thank you. But hey, you can't get a true ID. You can't get a hazmat. You can't get a TWIC card. But it's been dismissed. Hey, but you went to court for it. You know, I can't. The people telling me how to get that off. I'm just too lazy to do it. And like he been driving 30 years or something. Shit, he over there making that money. He doing his thing. Any questions or anything before I get on up out of here? Any questions before I get on up out of here? Shout out to the 40 people that hit the like. If you don't hit the like, I'm gonna chop your mom. I don't even have a mean face. I'll beat you up with a smile. Let's see. All right, no questions. Other than that, I just want to jump on, tell y'all about that. I might have to retitle it eventually, but yeah, be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Shade Word, you leasing again? Yeah, I'm still in the same quality truck. Same quality truck that I had 2 years ago that I supposed to have been got rid of a year ago. What's been going on? Nothing, man. I'm just doing this little local gig. They had me running kind of crazy. I was doing about 300-400 miles a day. But now I'm back to about 100 miles. I'll go from San Diego to Temecula, back down to San Diego. Done. Every blue moon, I might have to run an extra load. Loads is light, fuel is good, money is amazing. You know, for what I'm doing and the time I'm spending. What was I doing before trucking? I was working at Qualcomm. So like all the iPhone, the first iPhone, the second and third iPhone, I want to say, I was the guy that was working on the chipset for that stuff. iPhones, Samsung, Nokias and stuff like that. I will be in the lab coat. You can go back all the way back in my catalog. You'll see when I first started playing around with YouTube. I'm in my lab coat. I'm in a lab office. One video is where when Watch Dogs first came out. I don't know if anybody played Watch Dogs, the video game, and how they had the cameras. You could tap into the cameras and look over there and over there and over there and over there. I did a little video with that because in one of the damn, I forgot the proper name for it. One of the places where I worked in the building, they had cameras everywhere. So just go all the way back. You'll see when I was messing around with video games. You'll see I was doing Obamacare when it first came out, just to see what my rate was. You know, bro, I go through 55 likes now. Appreciate it. Bro, I go through shit with my old lady, 3 boys and 1 girl. Yeah. You local now, Buddha? Did you go local? I'm local for 3 months. This will be over in November. And I'm trying to do my 2-step and get my corniness on. See, the reason why I'm so corny is because it works. It works. My woman be like, you so corny. Shut up, we got paperwork. You can't even well, you sign documents because of this corniness. You go ahead on. You cannot talk about how corny I am. And at the same time, be so in love with me. See the queen, brother, king, take care of the kingdom. There you go. No questions from me, TRB. I'm trying to keep it classy, as always. Now, it was some shit I did back in the day, man. It was dismissed, but for whatever reason, it's still on my record. So I got to get it expunged or something. I got to write a letter to the district attorney. I'm about to use that Grammarly. Anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all been absolutely awesome. Thank you for rocking with me. Hey, Pearl, how you doing? You called at the end. You go back, check me out. You know what I'm saying? Truck running good. Life is good. It could be better. It could be better. I just gotta give a whole lot of head right now. Just a whole lot of this frontal lobe. And other than that, hey, y'all be easy. It's TRBs. Yeah.